Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, the Orange County Sheriff's Chief of Police and Sheriff's Association and the Orange County Sheriff's Advisory Council would like to take this opportunity to welcome each of you to today's commemoration ceremony. It is our privilege to present the Peace Officer Memorial Fallen Heroes Honor Guard. The riderless horse is an ancient military custom signifying the passing of a warrior. The sound of the horse's hooves beating on the road behind the master's casket is a reminder that the warrior is being honored. This horse is called a caparisoned horse, referring to its ornamental coverings, the bridle, the saddle, and the blanket. These items are black, the customary color for mourning the loss of a loved one. Notice the boots are reversed in the stirrups, suggesting that the order of things in reversed, caused by the death of a warrior who would ride no more. The riderless horse's presence at today's ceremony represents the passing of our great warriors and honors these officers who died in the line of duty and will also ride no longer. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Peace Officer Memorial Color Guard. Our national anthem will be sung by Deputy Nicholas Casas.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing for the invocation to be given by Mark Rayson, Chaplain for the Orange County Sheriff's Department.
When I served in the army in South Africa, my duty was to reinstall communication systems in vehicles that were exploded by landmines. Every time I sat in the seats, I knew that a soldier had been maimed or killed in that seat. So I said a prayer for their family and for their soul. Well, today, 35 years later, I'm saying that same prayer for officers I did not know, but somehow I feel very close to. May God, who blessed our forefathers, bless our fallen law enforcement officers who stood guard over us. May the Lord give our officers wisdom, understanding, and insight, so that they do not destroy the righteous with the wicked. May God cause our enemies to submit before our officers, and may God grant them salvation and crown them with victory. And let us say, Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a warm welcome to a few of the law enforcement and community leaders here with us today. The Sheriff of Orange County, Sheriff Don Barnes. The Sheriff of Los Angeles County, Sheriff Alex Villanueva. From the Orange County Board of Supervisors, from the 1st District, Chairman Andrew Doe. From the Orange County District Attorney's Office, District Attorney Todd Spitzer. Representing the Orange County Chiefs of Police and Sheriff's Association, the President, Chief John Lewis of the Newport Beach Police Department. President of the Sheriff's Advisory Council, Mr. Wayne Pinnell. We would also like to recognize all of the other chiefs of police and their representatives in attendance here today. It is their combined support that enables us to honor our fallen heroes. Now please welcome Orange County Sheriff Don Barnes.
Welcome to the 2021 Orange County Peace Officer Memorial Ceremony. Last year, this event was held virtually. While necessary at the time, that certainly has no substitute for gathering in person. This type of memorial ceremony should always be socially connected, meaning we're together, where we can see each other face to face and lean on one another as we remember our loved ones. I thank all those who are here today at this limited attendance event. We expect to be at full attendance at 2022. This morning, we gather to remember the 53 peace officers who laid down their lives for the people of Orange County. Like the officers and deputy sheriffs of today, each of these 53 heroes willingly took on the mission to protect and serve their community. They took up this charge knowing the potential for danger to their own life, doing so to protect people they oftentimes didn't even know. Since 1989, the Orange County Sheriff's Department has had 9 names memorialized on this wall. Under Sheriff Robert Squires, Deputy Robert Schultz, Deputy Brad Riches, and Sergeant Ira Esso were all killed by gunfire. Deputy Ezra Stanley, Deputy Steve Parsons, and Sergeant Matt Davis were killed in traffic collisions. Deputy Mark Tonkin was killed in a helicopter crash while assigned to a drug task force, and Deputy Darren Robbins was tragically killed during an impromptu field training exercise. We made a promise that we will always keep to remember these heroes, all of them, and their courageous acts. Fortunately, this is the 7th straight year that we will not be placing a name on this memorial wall. While that is a positive milestone, one we should always strive and be grateful for, we should not let this fact mislead us to thinking that the inherent risk of this profession has subsided. 2020 was one of the highest risk years for Orange County peace officers. We faced a pandemic, civil unrest, wildfires with our partners at the Orange County Fire Authority and other fire agencies, as well as the day-to-day hazards of enforcing the law and protecting the public. These challenges were all undertaken during a time of intense criticism against law enforcement. criticism that included numerous protests across the country, including in Orange County. I believe the response of the Sheriff's Department and police agencies to these protests highlighted the best of our profession and the necessary role our peace officers have in preserving the people, their individual rights and safety. In each protest over the last year, Orange County law enforcement members remained committed to the protection of free speech, even when that speech was directly targeted at them. Some of the language during these protests was intentionally confrontational and meant to dehumanize members of law enforcement. While it can be difficult to hear those things said and not respond to it, in my view, doing their job to protect free speech was response enough. Through their actions, Orange County's peace officers epitomized a cherished American ideal, disagreeing with what someone says, but defending their right to say it. The rights and safety we enjoy as Americans does not endure unless we have people willing to act in defense of those rights. We are fortunate to have exceptional men and women who take on that role by putting on the badge every day. And we are eternally grateful for those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our rights and safety, especially the 53 men enshrined on these memorial walls. Thank you again for being here today to honor the memory of our fallen heroes. We will never forget them, and we remain committed to carrying on their mission of law enforcement. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today at this magnificent memorial only because of the unselfish dedication in support of law enforcement of a special group of Orange County citizens and business owners, without whose help and generosity this memorial would not be possible. Please welcome the President of the Orange County Sheriff's Advisory Council, Mr. Wayne Pinnell.
Good morning, everyone. So on behalf of the Orange County Sheriff's Advisory Council and a number of our board members that are here today, it's my privilege to welcome you to the 2021 Peace Officers Memorial Ceremony. This memorial is dedicated as a reminder of the bravery of Orange County peace officers. Individuals whose names appear on these plaques willingly put themselves between us and those that would have harmed us. Each of them paid the ultimate price in the name of public service. We celebrate the fact that, again, this year, as Sheriff Barnes mentioned, we are not adding a name to our memorial here in Orange County. Yet we must also remember and honor officers who lost their lives in the line of duty across the United States. To the families and fellow officers who've been touched by the lives we honor, we know you bear a special burden. Although there is no speech or ceremony that can ease your pain, no tribute or salute, today, we join together in this ceremony to honor their courage and express our gratitude. Unlike most other careers, the brave men and women who embark upon a life in law enforcement know fully that they might one day be called upon to lay down their lives in the line of duty. Those we honor here today made that choice willingly. They embraced it. And that is why their ultimate sacrifice means so much. They served and sacrificed for a purpose far greater than themselves. There is no truer definition of a hero. The Orange County Sheriff's Advisory Council is honored and humbled to serve as the caretakers for this beautiful memorial. It is a constant reminder of how important it is to keep our peacemakers safe and to honor those who have chosen this as their profession. We thank you for being here today with us, and we ask God's grace on each of you who have come here in honor of your loved one, family member, partner, and friend. Thank you.
Now we ask Chairman Andrew Doe to please step forward. Chairman Andrew Doe will present a resolution from the Orange County Board of Supervisors commemorating May 27th, 2021 as Peace Officers Memorial Day for Orange County. Wayne Pinnell will be accepting the proclamation on behalf of the Orange County Sheriff's Advisory Council.
Wayne, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to represent the Orange County Board of Supervisors to be here today at the Orange County Peace Officers Memorial Ceremony. This is a somber yet meaningful event each year when we gather to pay tribute to the men and women in law enforcement who paid the ultimate price in protecting us and the communities they so loved. To the peace officers and community members, there is no greater grief, but at the same time, no greater sense of honor than to bear the loss of a friend, a colleague, or a loved one in service of our county. The actions of these officers who have given us all the ultimate gift of freedom, the life free of crime, free of fears, and as seen happen recently across our nation, free from lawlessness. Their dedication to the safety and well-being of others, even to their own detriment, stands as a testament to the highest ideals of law enforcement service. It is with deep respect and admiration that we on the Orange County Board of Supervisors and the people of the County of Orange honor law enforcement personnel throughout Orange County for their continuing bravery and devotion to the community to make it all a safer place in Orange County to live, work, and play. Mr. Pinnell, on behalf of the Orange County Board of Supervisors, we would like to present to you a resolution recognizing today the Peace Officer Memorial Day on May 27th, 2021. And please accept this with great attitude on behalf of all of the law enforcement officers in Orange County.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the keynote speaker for the 2021 Peace Officer Memorial Ceremony, Chief John Lewis, honoring the 53 law enforcement officials, officers, deputies, and a special agent who have died in Orange County in the line of duty.
Good morning and welcome. On behalf of all the members of the Orange County Chiefs of Police and Sheriff's Association, I want to thank each of you for your contributions to today's memorial. Thank you for setting aside this time to remember these heroes, to celebrate the greatness of the love and sacrifice that each one of these names represents. It is written, there is no greater love than this, that a person would lay down their life for the sake of their friends. Honoring our fallen officers is one of the most meaningful and long-standing traditions in law enforcement, and I am humbled to be a part of today's ceremony. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the surviving families and friends who are able to be with us here today. May your heroes rest in peace as we come together to honor them today. Our memories, they have a way of fading over time, but events like this, memorials like this, they keep these memories alive. And I encourage each of you to continue to share your stories, your remembrances of our fallen. We cannot allow the sacrifices that they made for our communities, for us, to ever be forgotten. Thank you to all the men and women in uniform who continue the work they so honorably laid down, staying faithful to the oath that we all take when these badges are entrusted to us. In 2020, as the 6 years that came before, we didn't lose a single Orange County peace officer in the line of duty. This is a bright spot in what is admittedly a somber time. Our training, teamwork, decision-making, and our skill kept each and every one of our officers and deputies safe as they went about their daily work. But some threats are beyond our training. Some threats are not ours alone. So many of our lives have been touched by loss this past year. Sometimes even the bravery of a law enforcement officer is no match for the unthinkable. We who pride ourselves on our willingness to step in and save others found ourselves powerless as we watched a global pandemic take lives in our communities and in our own law enforcement families. Newport Beach, we lost a young detective, John Jarima, to brain cancer. And as I look out among the faces of my colleagues, I know that my grief is not mine alone. Robert South, 17th century clergyman and orator, said, "If there is any truer measure of a person than what that person does, it must be by what that person gives." There are over 5,000 peace officers serving the people of Orange County, and I'm proud to count myself among them. What we do every day is we serve. We put on our uniforms, our suits, our tactical gear, and we go out into our communities. We meet people at our worst days, and we do all we can to bring peace back into their lives. Our goal really is something out of a superhero's tale. It's to stop bad things before they ever happen. Often we succeed, and when we don't, we do all we can to seek justice for those that have been wronged. This past year, many have challenged our calling, our mission, our service. But we stand tall, proud to be measured by the values that define each of us and those that define this honorable profession that we have all dedicated our lives to. Let us be measured by what we do, because I know what I see every day from the men and women who wear a badge or a star on their chest is this. It's selflessness, heroism, kindness, sacrifice, and honor. If there is any truer measure of a person than what that person does, it must be by what that person gives. Giving is the very foundation of our work. We give peace, protection, solace and guidance, order and reassurance, dignity and strength. Each of us also give up many things, birthdays and anniversaries and holidays. We give up restful nights and routine. We give of our time and of our talents. We contribute all that our minds and our bodies are capable of giving. We give a life of service, a life of significance. We become dedicated to something bigger than just ourselves. But we're here today, surrounded by the names of 53 peacekeepers who gave everything. Peace officers know deep in our hearts and in the back of our minds, it's the possibility that comes with this job. As we're again reminded in the recent tragedies with our neighbors to the north and the untimely deaths of Stockton Police Officer Jimmy Yin, San Luis Obispo Detective Luca Benedetti. We are, after all, the people who turn and address the trouble, who move towards danger when others run away from it, who stay the course when faced with the very worst. That courage, that selflessness, it's not always rewarded with a long life, but it is always, always rewarded with a meaningful one. We carry these fallen heroes in our hearts today and every day. Their families are our families. Their sacrifices humble us and inspire us and remind us of the noble duty that we bound ourselves to. Heartache is no stranger here, but I know that there is strength and pride and honor here too. If the truest measure of a person is how they give, we stand here today in the presence of giants.
We will now acknowledge the Peace Officers Memorial Roll Call of Honor. As each officer's name, agency, and year of death is announced, a representative from that officer's agency will stand in tribute. Undersheriff Robert Squires, Orange County Sheriff's Department, 1912. Motor Officer Jim Matthews, California State Traffic Squad, 1924. Motor Officer Lauren Hurd, California State Traffic Squad, 1927. Of note, the California State Traffic Squad was the first state traffic enforcement agency and was the predecessor of the California Highway Patrol. Officer Leo Darst, Huntington Beach Police Department, 1928. Motor Officer Edwin Jensen, Santa Ana Police Department, 1931. Deputy Ezra Stanley, Orange County Sheriff's Department, 1940. Officer Gordon French, Laguna Beach Police Department, 1953. Motor Officer Camille Maderi Jr., California Highway Patrol, 1958. Deputy Robert Schultz, Orange County Sheriff's Department, 1958. Detective Sergeant Myron Trapp, Garden Grove Police Department, 1959. Motor Officer Leonard Winnie, California Highway Patrol, 1959. Motor Officer Robert Dale, California Highway Patrol, 1960. Motor Officer John Marshall, Newport Beach Police Department, 1962. Officer Nelson Sasser, Santa Ana Police Department, 1969. Reserve Officer Andrew Reese, Garden Grove Police Department, 1970. Detective Darrell Cate, Buena Park Police Department, 1972. Detective Donald Schneider, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, 1973. Detective Sergeant Carl Wilson, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, 1973. As is our tradition, if an officer from an agency outside of Orange County is killed in the line of duty while stationed or working in Orange County, their name is placed with honor on our monument. Officer Wally Karp, Tustin Police Department, 1973. Officer Leslie Prince, Huntington Beach Police Department, 1974. Officer Jerry Hatch, Fullerton Police Department, 1975. Officer Gary Nelson, Anaheim Police Department, 1975. Sergeant Donald Soma, Cypress Police Department, 1976. Officer Daniel Hale, Santa Ana Police Department, 1977. Officer Richard Steed, San Clemente Police Department, 1978. Since the dissolution of the San Clemente Police Department in 1993, Officer Steed has been represented by the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Officer Donald Reed, Garden Grove Police Department, 1980. Officer Michael Rainford, Garden Grove Police Department, 1980. Officer Dave Ketchum, Costa Mesa Police Department, 1987. Officer Mike Leibolt, Costa Mesa Police Department, 1987. Officer Edward Clavel Jr., Seal Beach Police Department, 1988. Motor Officer Robert Ralston, Anaheim Police Department, 1988. Deputy Mark Tonkin, Orange County Sheriff's Department, 1988. Officer Tommy De La Rosa, Fullerton Police Department, 1990. Master Officer Howard Dallies Jr., Garden Grove Police Department, 1993. Motor Sergeant John Steele, California Highway Patrol, 1993. Deputy Darren Robbins, Orange County Sheriff's Department, 1993. Officer Michael Osornio, La Habra Police Department, 1994. Officer Robert Henry, Newport Beach Police Department, 1995. Detective Terry Fitcher, Brea Police Department, 1996. Officer Don Burt, California Highway Patrol, 1996. Officer Joey Little, Placentia Police Department, 1996. Deputy Shane York, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, 1997. Sergeant Stephen Van Horn, Newport Beach Police Department, 1997. Sergeant John Aguilar, Santa Ana Police Department, 1998. Deputy Bradley Riches, Orange County Sheriff's Department, 1999. Motor Deputy Stephen Parsons, Orange County Sheriff's Department, 2000. Motor Sergeant Matthew Davis, Orange County Sheriff's Department, 2002. Motor Officer Corporal Tyler Pinshot, Buena Park Police Department, 2003. Motor Officer Stephen Phillips, Westminster Police Department, 2004. Special Agent Patrick Dillon, California Department of Justice, 2007. Sergeant Ira Esso, Orange County Sheriff's Department, 2010. Of special note, Sergeant Esso is representative on the roll call of honor by Deputy Raymond Esso, who is Ira's grandson. Officer Daniel Ackerman, Buena Park Police Department, 2011. Motor Officer John Cucci, Laguna Beach Police Department, 2013. This concludes the reading of the memorial roll call of honor recognizing the sacrifice of each of our fallen heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention overhead and to the right. Helicopters from the Orange County Sheriff's Department, Highway Patrol, Huntington Beach Police Department, and the Orange County Fire Authority will be flying by in the missing man formation in memory of our fallen heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd also like to thank the Yorba Linda Water District for supplying the water for all of our honor guard. Thankfully, again this year, we're not adding a name to the roll call of honor, as no Orange County law enforcement officer was killed in the line of duty during the year 2020. In honor of all the fallen heroes this year, we would like to take some time to remember those who died in service to the residents of Orange County and who are recognized on our Wall of Honor. The Cypress Police Department has had only one law enforcement officer die in the line of duty. In the 1970s, Lincoln Avenue was largely undeveloped with several old buildings and bars. In an old converted house which was located at 5651 Lincoln Avenue, Dr. Ira Pomeroy operated a small family medical practice while his wife operated a quaint art gallery in the front of the building. Both businesses coexisted in the same building with only a set of double doors dividing them. On November 19, 1976, at about 2:33 a.m., the Cypress Police Department received a call from the Wells Fargo Alarm Company regarding an activation of a silent burglar alarm at the Pomeroy's medical clinic. Two officers, Agent James Warden and Officer Scott Atkinson, were dispatched to the call. Sergeant Don Soma, the shift supervisor, responded as well. The two other remaining Cypress units, Officer John Schaefer and Officer Robert Tennell, also responded to assist with a perimeter around the building. A check of the exterior of the building and rooftop did not reveal any forced entry. A closer inspection revealed an unlocked window with fresh footprints on the windowsill and interior floor. Through that same window, a crowbar was also observed inside the building. A search of the doctor's office did not reveal any suspects, so officers proceeded to enter the attached art gallery. Upon opening the door leading into the art gallery, officers heard noises. As Sergeant Soma stepped into the doorway, he was shot once by Bobby Joe Denny, a cowardly criminal that was hiding inside the gallery. Denny fired a second round as other officers attempted to rescue Sergeant Soma. Agent Warden exited the building and quickly made his way to another door, forcing entry back into another portion of the building. From that location, Agent Warden and assisting officers were able to remove Sergeant Soma, who was transported to La Palma Hospital. While at the hospital, Sergeant Soma succumbed to his injuries, which were caused by a single .38 caliber gunshot wound to the chest. Unfortunately, Sergeant Soma did not have the added protection of a ballistic vest, since this type of protection was very uncommon in 1976. Bobby Joe Denny, who had entered the business through an unlocked window to steal drugs and money, remained barricaded inside the building for the next several hours. He ignored orders to surrender despite the deployment of tear gas. Later that morning, an entry team breached the building, and after firing one round at the team of officers, Bobby Joe Denny surrendered his .38 caliber revolver, and he was taken into custody without further incident. Bobby Joe Denny, a 32-year-old drifter who had been living with friends in Hawaiian Gardens, was the son of the Carter County, Oklahoma sheriff. At the time of his arrest, Denny was a fugitive and a parole violator from an Oklahoma burglary conviction. After his trial for the murder of Sergeant Soma, Denny was convicted and sentenced to life. He remains in custody despite several parole attempts. Sergeant Donald Soma was the type of individual that could be counted on during any circumstance. He was a great friend, peace officer, and supervisor. Sergeant Soma's tragic death at age 44 was a loss to those who worked with him, to the community he served, and to his loving family. At the time of his death, Sergeant Soma was survived by his wife Colleen and their 4 children, Michael Robert, James Patrick, Donald Jack Jr., and Donna Marie Soma. May his memory live on as we vow to never forget Donald Jack Soma. Every call a law enforcement goes on could be their last. It is likely that none of these fallen officers anticipated their last call for service to be their last act on this earth. They would not have anticipated that day, that act to be so significant. But you honor their memory by your attendance here at this glorious memorial. We remember them always. They will not be forgotten. Orange County Sheriff Don Barnes will now place a red rose into the memorial wreath to honor the memory of all the fallen heroes as we take time to remember our fallen.
Every city of this country, beneath the waving flag, there is a special group committed to their cause, and they stand for truth and justice in a nation under God. No matter what the cost, they will uphold the law. To assure us of our safety, they place their lives on the line. Lend a hand to those in need when help is hard to find. Beneath the badge, there beats a heart so full of courage, a light in the dark. Beneath the badge, there's only one aim: to serve the people, knowing that it starts beneath the badge. When the day is finally over and they find themselves at home, they may lay down their badge, but their call is carved in stone. I know at times it seems so lonely and the stakes seem so high. Still they will proudly serve, though their names may be unknown. To assure us of our safety, they place their lives on the line. Lend a hand to those in need when help is hard to find. Beneath the badge, there beats a heart so full like a wife who gave a husband or a child who gave a dad. Beneath the badge there beats a heart so full of courage, a light in the dark. Beneath the badge there's only one aim, to serve the people, knowing that it starts beneath the badge. Beneath the
Now please stand for the three-volley salute, followed by the playing of taps. Please be seated as the honor guard leaves the memorial. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude today's ceremony, we invite the surviving families to come up to the memorial for a moment of reflection. Sheriff's Explorers will be on the right corner of the stage to hand out a rose to each family member and the chiefs. We must renew our pledge that the courageous individuals remembered here will not be forgotten, nor will their sacrifice be in vain. This concludes our ceremony of remembrance and solidarity. Thank you for attending.